just to wrap it up, I went to New York City last week. And the reason why I went is because there's a certain DA in Manhattan that was you guys know about him.
Yeah, we know.
Alvin Bragg. Alvin Bragg was supported and funded by George Soros. That's another one that I think we should throw out of America. And all his money to go with it. So Alvin Bragg, Manhattan DA, decides to spend his tax dollars and resources from his district attorney's office not to prosecute the incredible amount of crime in Manhattan that his taxpayers are paying him to prosecute, right? No, he decides to collude with some folks in Joe Biden's Department of Justice and come up with a way, any kind of creative way he possibly could, to decide to arrest President Trump and prosecute President Trump for absolutely nothing. We still don't fully understand what the charges are. So it supposedly has to do with illegal business entries, is what he said. And then Alvin Bragg states that it may be, to find further crimes.
Right.
This is a weaponization of government, and it is a perversion of the justice system. When a district attorney uses the power of his office to politically persecute the top leading Republican presidential candidate for 2024. And it's election interference. Well, let me tell you, I'm a big believer in our First Amendment. I believe in our freedom of speech. I believe in all of our rights, and I believe in our right to protest. And I think that we should be protesting a government that has been weaponized and is going after people for political reasons, not only to interfere with elections like a presidential election, but also going after people that walked in the Capitol on January 6th, pro-life protesters that are praying in abortion clinics, parents that are trying to hold their school boards accountable, and many other people, even a guy named, his last name's Mackey, that made a meme and put it on the internet in 2016. Our government has been weaponized, and protesting is important. And every single one of us have a right to make our voice heard and peacefully protest. And so when I spoke with President Trump on the phone, I told him that I was going to New York to protest. And so that's what I did. Now I want to tell you guys about New York City, and they are nothing like Walker County.
Thank God.
First of all, the Mayor Adams warned me at a press conference on television, named me by name, and warned me before I even got to his state. We don't treat people that way here in the South, do we?
No.
Even if we don't like them, we just say, bless their hearts. But that's how the whole thing started. And then, when I did get there, we found out, and it was floating all over Twitter, that they had sent out a Twitter alert, like an actual paid-for, funded campaign. I'm sorry, it's a text alert. And people were getting these text messages that was a call to action, and gave the address of the park and named me by name. Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to be at this park. You need to gather up as many people as you can, wear a mask. I don't know about y'all, but maybe they didn't find out the COVID emergency is over. Or maybe they're just members of Antifa because they don't wear masks. Bring pots and pans and as many things you can to make as much noise as possible to drown out hate. And they said, whistles will be provided. So it costs money to send out a mass texting campaign. So somebody politically funded it. I don't know if it was related to the mayor. So that happened, and then we got down. I said, I'm still going. So we went down. I said, I've got my free speech right. I have a right to protest the weaponization of government. And we showed up, and that place was busy. Let me tell you, there was a lot of people there. There was a lot of press there, tons of press. But sure enough, there was people handing out whistles, and one of them happened to be an actual government employee, the New York Public Advocate. So I just want you to know that's how New York treats out-of-town visitors. But I want to say I'm really proud of our district because even if we don't disagree with someone, we still do not treat them that way. Because that's not the kind of people we are. You know, recently Kamala Harris came into town. Did y'all see her?
Smelled her.
Maybe people saw her. And there were people that did show up and protest, and God bless you for that. But their protest was not anything like the protest that I was greeted with in New York. And I am very proud and thankful for that. They made signs. Their signs were not inappropriate. Their signs were good and their message was good. It didn't have cuss words or horrible sayings. No one hurled insults at Kamala Harris. No one called her nasty four-letter names and all kinds of names I can't say and won't say on this stage. But they did protest her, and they have the right to do that. But I'm really proud of our values here and the values that we display when we're in front of the press or we're pictured, because we display it correctly. We can disagree with people, but we can still do it and represent ourselves in a very classy way. And I'm very proud of this district for that. And I also want to say I thought it was pretty funny that Vice President Kamala Harris decided to come on down to Dalton, Georgia, to try to take credit for Q-cells and their solar panels simply because the federal government had purchased a bunch of their solar panels. You see, when you talk to Q-cells and you read all of their statements, they weren't thanking the Biden administration, and especially Kamala Harris, because she doesn't do anything at all.
Right.
They were thanking the local county and the local state officials that helped them open their business, not the Biden administration. But you see, that's how the Biden administration works. They take credit for things they didn't do.
Absolutely.
And to be honest with you, they're not doing anything good in Washington. They're mostly destroying our country.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Yes.